I'll be teaching you the basics of GitHub, how to create a repository and all. We'll go into that. Yeah. And first year students who are here, in the next 30 minutes, I'll be teaching you something which you'll be using for the next 4 years. That's for sure. Okay. At least CS and EC students, that's for sure. You'll be using it. So make sure you stay till the end, and it's very easy. Nothing to worry. Yeah. Let's start. Going to the first slide. Let us understand Git by comparing to the very similar version of Git, that is Google Drive. Let me take a live example for you and explain to this. For example, think Aryan is working on a some project, Raspberry Pi project. Our community member Aryan. Okay. And what I'll do is I'll tell, bro Aryan, I'm interested, bro, in your Raspberry project. Can I also contribute? And he'll be like, Aryan will be a very nice person, and he'll tell, okay, Sohan, you can contribute. And what he does is he puts all these files in a pen drive and he gives it to me. What I do is I'll not know how to use Git, and what I'll do is I'll change the files. Like I'll comment the old code and I'll change everything. And the next thing what happens is the project fails. The next thing what will happen is Aryan will build me. Okay. So the Git and Google Drive are very similar, but they're yet very totally different. The main thing is both Google Drive and Git, they store data for you. Even the Git does the same thing. It stores data for you, but in a very different way. Let me explain it to you. For example, you're working on a project, you're writing a code, which is some 100 lines. Then what happens is you have to add some new feature. Then you don't know like whether the new feature will work or not, or it might also fail, due to which your whole project may fail. Then what you do is you comment the old code, then you add this new feature, and then you run it out. This is okay for the programs which they give in college, like print prime numbers in Python. For that, it's okay. Not for the projects which we are working on. So that is where Git takes its role. Basically, what Git does is it stores both the previous version of the document and the new version of the document, so that you can go back to any version which you like, based on how it runs or whichever you like, or you might revert back to it after few days or even few years also. So that is the main feature of the Git. And this feature is employed by a system known as version control system, which brings us to our next slide. Yeah. What is version control system? Version control system is nothing but it takes snapshots of your file at different stages, and it records the information of each and every stage, and it cleanly organizes for you, so that you can revert back to any of the file which you want later on, or you can save it, and you can you can use it for many purposes. Yeah, basically what version control system does is like it's like a camera. It takes snapshots of your file at different stages, and it records everything, so that none of the information is missed out for you. So it will be very easy for you if you use version control documents. Why we should use version control documents? These are the main four features which I found why you should use version control documents. Even you can use documents on your local computer, like you can create a file and then save it. And it's very difficult to work on that when you're working on very huge projects. So use version control documents, you'll have these features. First feature is it tracks the changes and developments in your document. This is the main and the most important feature. The second thing is you can experiment with different versions of a document while maintaining the original version. While working on collaborative projects, when you and your friend are working on a collaborative project, and when you want to merge it, these version control documents comes in handy, because you can manage conflicts and you can resolve conflicts. I'll be coming to that point later on when I'm giving demo. So just ignore that point. And the last thing is you can revert back to the changes. That means you can go back to the previous versions of your document. That's all. These are the main four features of the version control document. Yeah. Coming to Git and GitHub, many people think that Git and GitHub are same, or they don't know the difference. There is a huge difference between Git and GitHub. Actually, Git is a particular implementation of version control. It was originally designed by this man, Linus Torvalds. It was used for managing Linux source code. Yeah, this man created it when Linux operating system was built. This Git came into that. That's the first time when this Git was used. Yeah, GitHub is a company which hosts Git repositories. What this GitHub company does is it basically gives the graphical user interface for all its users, so that it is more easier for the users to use Git rather than only using the client version of the Git. When you use the client version of the Git, what happens is you have to type out the commands, you have to know the commands, and you have to work on a command line interface, not in a graphical interface, which is very difficult. It's not that difficult, but it's not that convenient. But what GitHub does is it's very convenient. They provide a software. Uh, there no need to use command line tools or command line commands, anything. There is a separate app for it, GitHub Desktop. You can download that. Yeah. Any questions or anything, please put it up in the chat box or you can ask me. Shall I go ahead?
Yeah, Sohan, continue.
Yeah. Please tell me if there are any questions on the chat box, okay? Yeah. The next few slides are something which you have to know. These are some of few terms which you have to get familiarized before using GitHub. So I'll go through this quickly so that in the demo you'll have a very clear picture. So the first thing is, what is a repository? This is the main thing which you have to know before using GitHub. The repository is just like a folder. Remember that repository is a folder. Folder that is like on your local computer and your laptops, just like folder where you keep all the files. And plus, this repository has it's just like a folder, but it has one special feature. That special feature is nothing but it can keep the track of your all the changes made to the files in that repository. I mean, in a folder you'll have many files. If you change any file, it keeps a track of it. That's all. That is the some extra feature which repository had. A easy way to remember this. That's all. Yeah. This is the commit command. Commit command is something which you have to know. Commit command is it is very similar to saving, like save command on your normal computers, but it is not the same. The main difference is that when you save the document on your local computer, like the normal save I'm talking about, when you close the file and return to it in this, when you return back to it, it will be on the same state. There will be no changes recorded in it. However, commit when you use commit command, what it does is it changes, it records the changes which have been made, and what changes have been made also will be recorded. That is what commit does. So this is the main difference between save and commit command. Please don't get confused. They're very similar but not the same. That's all. When you are using GitHub, commit is nothing but just like a save button. That's all. Yeah. The next thing is conflict. This emerges when you try to merge or sync two versions of a document. This mainly emerges when you are working on a collaborative project, or these conflicts may arise on your documents also. It is very easy to resolve a conflict. What happens is you have two versions of your document. On your local computer, there will be one version. On the GitHub server, there will be other version. When you try to sync these two, that's when the conflict arises. I know this many people have not understood this. I'll be showing you a demo. It will be very clear for you, and I will be showing how to resolve a conflict also. So don't worry. Yeah, this Git large file storage is one more feature which GitHub has. It is nothing but a Git extension. That's all. When you have very huge media files and you have to place it in your GitHub, when you place it on your local computer, the features will be the processor will become very slow. Like I'm talking about really huge files. What Git does is it replaces them with very tiny text pointers, and these are not stored on your computer. These are stored on remote server instead, so that there will be no issues of speeding or slowing down of your computer or the process or the GitHub process, anything like cloning and all. So no need to worry about the large files. That's all. These are some of the features which Git has. This is one of the feature which Git has. The previous one are which you need to know before using GitHub. That's all. Yeah, I'll be showing you demo now. The demo includes the following 7 things. Like it start from a creating a repository. I'll be showing how to create a repository, and at the end I'll be showing how to clone GitHub repository. So let's move to the demo part. Yeah, this is your GitHub desktop app. This is what a homepage like of GitHub desktop looks like. If you want to create a new repository, just go to the third option. You can see here, create a new repository on your hard drive. Like this is on your hard drive, not GitHub on the Google Chrome, like not the remote server, on your local server. Okay. You're creating a repository on your local server. Just create a repository. Just type the name, any name which you like. I'll be using like webinar, description, anything. If you want a README file, just check this box. Otherwise, no need of README file here. Git ignore none, license none. Then one more important thing is when you download the GitHub, there will be a documents folder. Inside the documents folder, there will be a GitHub folder created. That will be automatically created. So just choose that folder. Most of the time it will be chosen. Just check this. Okay. It should be documents and then GitHub. That's all. Your repository should be saved here. Otherwise, the changes cannot be recorded. Then create repository. Yeah, this is your repository. Okay, this is the main repository. And one more thing here, can you see the second box here? In the second box, I've chosen external editor as Notepad++. Okay, for convenience purpose, I've chosen Notepad++. You can choose any here, any editor which you want, like Visual Studio Code, anything which you want. I have chosen Notepad++. So I'll be going to this Notepad++. I'll just type some line, like I'll type webinar one. Webinar one, GitHub. Then I'll save this. I'll save it as file one. Yeah. Make sure to choose the right path. Go to document section. Go to GitHub. Yeah. Choose your repository. Just now I have created a repository, webinar one. I'll be choosing that. I'll be saving this file inside the repository. Just as I told, repository is nothing but a folder. That's all. Nothing more than that. It's just a folder. Okay. Then save this file here. Yeah. This file is there. I'll be closing the Notepad app now. Yeah. You see here, one changes is made to the repository. That is nothing but I have added a new file. That's all. Okay. You can see here changes. Then next to it, one. That means one file has been added. One change has been made. That is nothing but I have added a file. That's all. Now, if I want to record this change, then I have to save this change. Save is nothing but commit. Commit. See here. Commit to main. Main is nothing but it's just a branch. Like you can have sub branches. When you have huge number of files, you can just create a new branch here. I'll be doing that later. I'll just commit this change now. Here, in the description, it's better if you type out what the change was. That's all. Here, the change was first, it was zero changes. Now, one change has become. The change is that I have added a new file. I'll just type that in description. That's all. I'll just type new file added. Then I'll commit to main. Yeah. See, now changes is zero because that change has been recorded. So it will not reflect in the changes tab. Go to history. You'll have it here. This is initial commit, initial repository, nothing was there. Here, first file I've added, file1.txt. Here it shows what is. Now what I'll be doing is I'll be going to the Notepad app again, the file. I'll be adding a new line. I'll be changing this file on my local server. That is nothing but on my local computer. I'll be adding a new line now. I'll just add line 1 and I'll save it. Save. See here, it immediately reflects on your changes tab. Go to changes tab. You can see here, changes 1. Okay. And you can see what changes here. It shows line 1. If you want to record these changes, then again, I'll do is I will give a description, added new line. No description also, it's fine. But when you're working on huge projects, it's better if you give description. Then you can know why you have made the change, what change has been made, and all. And I'll be saving it, like commit to me. Yeah. See, now the change is 0. Go to history. See here, this is the previous version of the file. No line 1 here. This is the new file. Webinar git 1 GitHub line 1. This is the first file. The older version of the document. This is the new version of the document. That's all. Now, if you want to publish this repository, just go to the repository which is here. Go to the GitHub website. That is nothing but the remote server, not on your local computer. Just open your account here. Okay. Then go to GitHub desktop. Then click on publish repository. Yeah, it's asking for name, repository name. I'll just leave it as webinar 1, publish repository. Yeah, any doubts until now? Anyone? Yeah, I think it's published. Just refresh this. Yeah, see here. You can see my repository, webinar 1. I've kept it private, not public. I'll click on this repository. You can see here, file1.txt, the file which I'll created now. This is the first file, that's all. Yeah. We have learned creating a repository, committing changes, commit messages. Commit message is nothing but the description in the commit changes box, that's all. Publishing a repository is also done. Then the next thing is making changes remotely. Making changes remotely here is nothing but remotely is nothing but the remote server. The local server is nothing but your computer. The remote server is nothing but the GitHub server that is on Chrome. So I will make changes remotely. I'll go here, open this file, edit here. I will add a new line saying line 2. Yeah, see, I've added line 2. This is not on my local server. This is on the GitHub profile, my GitHub profile on the Chrome. So if I want to record this change, I'll be adding, there is a commit changes here also. Yeah, I will add a description. Then I'll save this change. Yeah, see line 2. It's here, line 2. Now go to your GitHub desktop app. 1 second, you just need to refresh. Yeah, whenever you are using this, just here you can see fetch origin. Whenever you have made a change on your remote server, that is here. Again, when you are accessing the same file here, that is, I mean on your local computer, GitHub desktop app, just make sure every time you do that, just you should click on this sync button. That is nothing but fetch origin. That is nothing but sync, that's all. So that what it does now is, it fetches the file from the remote server on your local computer. That's all. See, whatever the changes that has been made on remote server, it will reflect here once you sync the changes. Okay, you can see here pull one commit from the origin remote. Yeah. So now we came to pull and push commands. Pull command is nothing but when you have made a change on your remote server, and when that change has to be reflected on your local server, you have to use this pull command. So if I don't do pull here, the changes won't reflect here. If you want, I'll go to my notepad app again. Here, there is no line 2 added here, only line 1, that's all. So what I'll do is, now I want that change to be reflected here. I'll go pull origin. Go to history. See here, line 2. It will not reflect in the changes tab because it's not changed on your local computer. And no need to commit also because the commit is already done here. I did here. When I edited this file, I did here. See here, I did this. So no need to commit again. When you just fetch it, it's fine. That's all. That change will reflect here. So you can see here, this is the most recent version of my document. This is the previous version. This is the first version of my document. So all the versions of your document are reserved here. Yeah. So making changes remotely is done. Now managing conflicts. Yeah. Just pay attention here. I'll go to my Notepad app. See here, line 2. Now what I'll do is here, I'll add line 3 here. Save this. I'll edit again here. I'll add line 4 here. Commit changes. Uh, Go to GitHub app. Commit to main. See here. Again, it asks for push commit storage. Just accept this push command. Push command is used when the local change has to be reflected in the remote server. The opposite of pull. That's all. See, it shows desktop is unable to push commits to this branch because there are commits on the remote. See, I made two changes. One is I did on remote server, other one is I did on local server. And both are different changes. They're not the same changes. So they both are not sync. They're not in sync. So that's when a conflict arises. This is nothing but a conflict. I'll tell fetch the remote file. See, no pull. Pull is nothing but I'm fetching the remote file. See here, one conflict arises. I'll go to open notepad. See here, line 3, I made it here, like on the local server. Line 4 is this one. Now what I'll do is I want only line 3 to be here. I will remove line 4. Save this file. Go here. See. Now it's changed. Now the conflict arises because the changes were not in sync. Now I removed one of the change which I made. I removed the remote change. Now only the local change has to be recorded, and that is done automatically. I'll commit merge. See, you have two local commits waiting to be pushed to GitHub. That is nothing but push. These are the local commits. Just now I made this local commits change. Now this has to be reflected in my remote server. So I'll again choose push origin. The files are being transferred to remote server. That's all. Now go to this one and this one. Just refresh this. Yeah, see, line 1, line 2, line 3. Actually, I added line 4 here. If you remember, remote change what I made was line 4, not line 3. But again, I resolved the conflict and I wanted only line 3 and I removed line 4 in my local computer. and I push back the change which I have made. So it is reflecting here. Line 1, line 2, line 3. This is nothing but conflict and managing a conflict. That's all. The last thing is cloning. If you want to clone, like cloning is nothing but if you want to have someone else repository and if you want to work on that in your profile, you can do that. Just go to Market Explore. Sorry, I'll click on something. This some repository. Just copy this URL. Go to GitHub. Then go to File. Here, clone repository. Choose the URL option. Paste it. Then click on clone. Yeah, see. Go to history. I have this is the clone repository, which I did just now. I don't know what this is, just I showed you a demo. See, these are the repositories, clone repository, and these are the files in it. Now you can work on it. You can work on this. That's all. Yeah. Branch, if you like new branch, I'll be creating a new branch. I'll just give it as branch one, branch. Yeah. I've just created a branch on my local computer. I've not yet published on my GitHub server. I'll show you that. Yeah, you can see here. One second. See, only file1.txt and this is a main branch. That's all. See here into main. That's all. Now what I'll do is I'll go this publish branch. Here, one more branch has been added. Yeah, that's all. All branches. One second, guys. I think you have to create one more file in that new branch. Then only you can publish that branch. That's all, guys. Thank you, guys.